Hey everybody, how you doing? Hopefully you're having a great weekend. Another short trading week last week, but not short on excitement. So we had some big moves both directions. Thursday, a big down day, and then Friday just came screaming back. This is SPY, the S&P 500 ETF. You can see it was up 3.35% on Friday. So just tons of strength across the indexes, lots of volume. So it'll be really interesting to see if that strength carries through into this new trading week. We'll look at a couple index charts real quick, and then I want to go through a number of opportunities I'm looking at. Some might take advantage of market weakness if we roll over into some of these overhead areas, and then there's a lot of individual stocks I'm looking at that are setting up quite nicely. So I'll go over through a handful of those. So SPY, found support here around 234. So has had a really strong move recently, but now we're coming to this area here, the February lows and these April lows here around 255. So that has potential to act as resistance, and then more recently, this 260-ish level, acted as support here in October. You could see it bounced off of it. Again, acted as support in November, bounced off of it. We sliced below that. So if we start testing the underside of that 260 or so level, that will have potential to act as resistance. So just something to keep an eye on, and we'll have to wait and see how price reacts to that level. One chart that I think is really interesting right now is emerging markets ETF EEM. It's been in a downtrend all year, but what's curious here, I'm going to zoom out to the weekly, get a better view. This $37 level has been important going back a long time. This goes back to 2012. You could see it acted as support 2013, 14, 15, acted as support all these times. And then what was support? Technical Analysis 101 became resistance right here, 2016. It couldn't quite break through it. Came back down, finally broke back through that 37 level. A beautiful run through 2017. Now it's given all that back, but look where it's stopped so far, right at that $37 level. So that's an important price area. It's held. We're still in a downtrend. I'm not saying that I'm going to be going out and buying EEM next week. It still has a little bit of work to do. I like to look for a horizontal level, so I'd like to see it maybe break above, $41 or so, which would both break the downtrend line and get over a key horizontal price area. That's what I like to look for. But this is just what I'm keeping my eye on, because there's a lot of opportunities that this could present if these emerging markets get going. There's a couple individual country ETFs that I'm going to go through in a minute that are actually setting up quite nicely now. So just one I'm keeping my eye on, an important chart. These led us to the downside. They, trending down all year as U.S. markets went up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if they could reverse that trend and start moving up. Again, I'm not getting premature, not there yet. I'm respecting this downtrend, but there's definitely the potential that this might be reversing. So we'll just have to wait and see and keep an eye on the price action. So if things start turning back down in the markets next week, there's a couple short ETFs I'm going to go through that are setting up quite nicely. First one is RWM. This is the Russell 2000 short index ETF, and I do own a position in this one, and I have for a while, but it's maybe setting up again here. You can see this level here, just under $44. That was resistance back here in October, again resistance in November, kind of broke above it, quick retest, and then screamed higher. So if we come back into this $43 to $44 level and price starts moving up out of that level, I think this makes for a really nice looking long trade. I don't need to get too hung up on what the ticker is or what the symbol is. We know it's in an uptrend. You can see it's been trending up since September, and it's retesting a former breakout area, $44, $43, $44. And if it starts moving up off of that, I think it looks like a nice long trade. You put your stop slightly under the breakout area, and you can be kind of hands off with it. So I think this one has a nice potential setup. Again, it's got some room to go until it would get to that level. But if markets open strong early next week, come back to test that level, and then start respecting that level and moving up, I think this one looks like a nice add on the long side, in my opinion. QID, this one's right at the key level right now. This is the ultra short QQQ ETF. Same idea. This has a price level around $46. That was resistance, in October, again in November, had a nice break, nice run. Now it's come back into this key level. So if it starts moving up above, this 46-ish dollar level, I think this looks like a nice long trade idea with the stop slightly below. So that's QID, short, ultra short QQQ. So those are just a couple options that we have if the markets start turning back down. So if the markets continue to act constructive, there's a number of long stock ideas that I like as well. Full disclosure, these first two I did buy last week, Loco and AVLR. Those are new positions for me, but they're still looking good. So I went ahead and included them here in case you want to add them to your list. So here's Loco. I'm going to look at the weekly here. Going back to 2016, this $15 level has been important. You can see it act as resistance all these times throughout the years. And then we finally got that break above it recently, and we came back to retest, and that retest has been successful so far. So I like this one quite a bit. On the long side, you can see it broke out of this kind of bullish consolidation pattern back into that $14 level. Friday pulled up out of it nicely. So I'd like to see a little follow through here, but this one looks, again, like a really nice long. Put your stop, under that 14 level in case it doesn't hold that area. But I like Loco quite a bit. AVLR, a newer issue here. You can see it's been pretty ugly since the summer, but it looks like it might be changing character a bit here. As I said, I like a horizontal level. So here it's about 32.20 or so. Support here, turned resistance here all through November and December. You could see it couldn't quite crack that level, and it looks like it wants to now. Friday, it didn't quite hold it, but it closed right there. So I like this one a lot over, we'll call it over 32.25. That's that key horizontal level, and it broke that shorter term downtrend level, downtrend line. So I like this one. A name like this, I'm not going to go full size position. I'll just take a half size position here, just due to the newness of it. It's not a confirmed uptrend by any means, but I think it looks like a nice tradable opportunity there on the long side for AVLR. Another name here I'm watching for next week, QNST, displayed a lot of relative strength. You can see in December, it's kind of held its own, hung in there nicely, and now it's kind of just consolidating. It's kind of a bullish consolidation here. So horizontal level here, 1650 or so. If it can break above that, this shorter term trend line, I think this looks like a nice long opportunity. OKTA, saying this horizontal level here I'm watching is about a little above $63. You can see that was resistance here. And here it's kind of chopped around it a bit, but if it could solidify itself above that, I think this looks like a nice long opportunity in the longer term uptrend, just kind of stalled out since late summer, but I like this name. Dryships. This one's been in a big consolidation pattern here since the summer. And now it looks like Friday it's peeking its head above it. So if it could hold above, 1625 or so is what I'd be looking for here. I think this one might make has potential to make a nice run, and you have your risk defined. You can put your stop slightly under, last week's lows, or, under the breakout area. It just depends how you want to play it. But however you want to play it, I think this one looks like a nice potential long setup here in Dryships. HLF, just a ton of relative strength in this name lately. You can see November and December as the markets have struggled. This one's just hung in there and actually been slightly up. So now it's kind of consolidating just under the $60 level, which was its highs from August after it had that huge run up. So if it can break above that, I think this looks like a really nice looking long opportunity here in HLF, Herbalife. Glue Mobile. This one's, again, just tons of strength lately. If this could break above this $825 level, you could see it's acted as resistance all these times lately. If it could break above that, I think this one makes for a nice looking long opportunity as well. FN, this one, it's the $49 level. You can see it was resistance here, gapped above it, turned into support. This general area has acted as support. So if it can get above that general area, $50 or so, I think this one looks like a nice looking long, tons of relative strength in a longer term uptrend as well. So that's FN. WDay, there's a lot of these software application names. I'm just going to go through a few of them, but I have even more on my watch list. So many of these look strong, really strong group. This one's WDAY. This has a level here of $157. You can see acted as resistance back there at the end of August. Came back down, eventually broke above it, kind of chopped around it, but now it's back above this. And the main theme here is just a lot of strength here, and like recently in WDY, and then longer term, it's in a nice steady uptrend. So another opportunity here is FTNT. This one has found support for now at about the 66 level. You could see it was resistance here, turned support here in November, October. So if it can hold that, maybe break above this $71 level, which would get it above those recent closes. You could see the horizontal bars right there, the recent closes, 70, 62 or so. If it can get above that, that would bring it above this trend line, and that would be what I would be looking for to trigger this trade on the long side. So that's FTNT. I'm going kind of fast through these here because there's quite a few of them. Team, just a really strong chart. Looks good. This level here, $84 or so, acted as resistance here, turned support right here in the last couple days. So I like the team a lot. And then again, this level right below it, $78 or so, that was support. Turned resistance, turned support again. So a couple key levels to trade off of there. But the bottom line is this has just been a really strong name, and it continues to look good. Another one here, EVBG. Similar theme, it's just been consolidating what looks to be at this point a potential bullish consolidation. So if it can break over 58 or so, this looks like a nice potential long opportunity there. Last one here, I'll go over keys. If this could get over 62.50 or so, that was resistance up here, resistance again here, can't quite crack it. So if it can get over that level, that's a really nice level to trade off of. A long-term uptrend again that's just been consolidating. So I like the look of this one quite a bit. So lots of names out there, some opportunities to look at on the short side, a lot of long names that look pretty good. So we'll just have to see what the market gives us. Don't want to force the trade or rush it, but it's nice to have some opportunities that you can kind of monitor. I like to get kind of a consolidated watch list together before each trading week that can kind of focus my attention. Names will come and go. I'll add names to the list throughout the week and remove them from the list, but it's nice to get started with a solid list of names that you can watch a little bit more closely than the others. And that's what probably, 85% of my trades come from my weekend cleaned up watch list. So those are just some names I wanted to share with you. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you're interested, please check out ttptrading.com. It's myself and CJ Agresta. We're doing 30-day trials right now. If you just want to try it for free, see what we're all about, please come by, check it out. And if not, that's okay too. Hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.